Testing. So, there's been a lot of talk about what the police did, how they did it, and why they did it. And I think I want to just clear up a little bit of confusion behind this. I think Officer Tatum is kind of gone off his rocker with how he's explained this whole thing. I'm going to play a clip real quick and just kind of see what y'all think here.
They'll never be able to unsee this stuff. You can sit on your couch eating your potato chips, never participating in anything, never saving a single life. Don't even put on a uniform because you're too much of a coward to put on a uniform, and you're going to talk about these men with no information. They are never going to unsee all of those kids that are dead, and they could not save them.
So look, I don't think anybody's worried about these police seeing dead kids. I think what people are worried about is why police, or why the Uvalde police, didn't do anything. From the crash to when this guy entered the school, these cops actually tried to make entry into the school. And as soon as they were shot at, they retreated and they waited for, I'm not really sure, it was over 30 minutes for a tactical team to show up.
Four minutes after the shooter entered, local police arrived at 11:44. The shooter fired at them, so the officers retreated and called for reinforcements.
We need specialty equipment. We need body armor. We need precision riflemen, negotiators.
A tactical team arrived at 12:47.
So I'm just kind of confused by this whole thing. Why are we talking about bulletproof vests and precision riflemen? Really, what your job is at that point when this guy's shooting at kids is to take his attention off of the kids. How do you do that? Well, there's not just one door to a school. You're telling me that these police officers couldn't figure out another way to get into this school? I mean, shooting a rifle, it's pretty loud. So if this guy's letting off rounds in the school, you can time it, or almost time it, to where while he's shooting, you're shooting a door hinge off. Waiting makes no sense. What does it say on your badge? To protect and serve. Well, all they really did in this situation is they protected the shooter from parents. They're sitting there waiting outside with a big old line. They're tasering parents. They're holding them back. These people are begging the police officers to go in. And the Uvalde Facebook page, or Uvalde police Facebook page, they put on there, no officers were injured, or no officers were terribly injured. Yeah, because they didn't go in. They retreated. This is the one that got me from Tatum.
The local police, the Uvalde school police, multiple agencies show up within 4 minutes, and they are exchanging gunfire with this guy. They're receiving gunfire. He's shooting at them. They're trying to go into the school and rescue, but they're getting shot. And anybody that know anything about tactics, this guy has outpowered them. They don't have enough. They don't have the guns. They don't have the ammo. They don't have the resources, the shields. They have nothing. They cannot advance on this guy who's actively shooting at them with a rifle. This is not the military. You can't just have cover fire.
Yeah. It's sad that he's literally taking the side of police no matter what it is. I've been a huge fan of the police. I think I said that in the beginning, but I think, like I said before, if you can't take opposition to your own people, you're in a cult. And I don't consider myself in a cult. And what these police officers did was just straight coward. Straight coward. I don't care if you're in flip-flops, board shorts, a tank top, and have a Swiss Army knife. You better get your ass in there. If there are kids getting shot, if parents want to do your job, don't stop them. Clearly, they're not cowards. And then we want to get on the news and we want to say, well, we didn't have precision shooters or we were out-armed. Really? An 18-year-old kid with an AR is a better shot than, I don't know how many police officers are in the Uvalde Police Department. But is that what you're trying to say? Are you trying to say that tactics-wise, this 18-year-old kid knows more than a police department? Look, I think we can disagree with someone and, still get along, but this one just really rubbed me the wrong way with Officer Tatum, because it's to me, it's really odd how you're a police officer and you're like, well, no, they're shooting at us, so we're just gonna go back and we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait until we have the perfect opportunity to go in there and make sure that none of us are really in harm's way. Well, tough shit. It's the job. And I get most police officers don't go through situations like this in their entire career. But it's a possibility. It's a possibility. So my stance on this whole thing is I think every single one of those officers should turn in their badge. And I think whoever was the commanding officer who told them to retreat and to sit there and wait should be charged. Look, I get mistakes happen, but this isn't a mistake. This is simply lack of thinking and then cowardice. All right. I'm going to take some questions here. Yeah, so for the people who are saying unsubscribe from Tatum, I'm not telling you what to do. Like I said, I think we can disagree and still talk, still watch. But I think there is something wrong. I think there's something else at play with Tatum, because no one can sit here and back the police on this one. No one can sit here and say, oh, yeah, well, the police did a great job. They got there. They did everything that they could. No, everything that they could is everything they could, not sitting outside and waiting and holding back parents and tasering them and have one guy on the ground. No. Oh, I would have lost it if I was there. Yeah, sorry guys. Sarge is being a titty baby right now. Here's the other thing. I forgot about this. So there was an off-duty Customs and Border Protection agent who was getting a haircut. And he stopped his haircut, got his barber's shotgun, and ran into the school. Did he have tactical gear on? No. Was he probably in flip-flops? Yeah. But still, it's this goofy mentality that they're sitting there and like when did this police department become a bunch of victims? Oh, well, we didn't have body armor. Body armor is very cheap. How do you not have body armor in a police department? Like, really? None of your officers were wearing body armor? Why are none of your officers precision shooters? I mean, your life can depend on a gun at some point there, right? So it's probably a good idea to be good with a gun. So if all of your officers just suck with a gun, what are you doing as a cop? Thanks, Iggy6, IG6. And I just want to be clear, because I know I have law enforcement who watch me. If you are backing these cops in any way, you should turn your badge in too. And if you aren't backing them, and you're kind of taking this in as a reality, just understand what your badge means. This is, and that's the other thing. I mean, people are going to say, "Oh, they need better training," and I've said that. That's super important in police departments. But this isn't about training. This isn't about tactical gear. This isn't about how good of a shot you are. This isn't about what if you have a badge or not. This is simply about, do you have balls? Is a child's life less important than yours? Is it? This makes me sick. Didn't the border agent take out the gunman? That's what people are saying. I haven't really read it yet, but I'm pretty sure he did. The timeline for me is kind of odd. What I don't really like is Officer Tatum making the whole thing really confusing to fit his own "I will support the cops no matter what they do" bullshit. It's just nonsense. It's not rational. He was saying, well, they let off 100 shots before these cops could even get to the school. That's just not correct. It's just not. They were shooting at the police officers And then they were like, oh, crap, we're in a gunfight. Well, we better just go back and just hold the line so parents don't try to come do our job. I mean, can you imagine the headlines if parents actually got in there and the police were just standing outside like, oh, well, we didn't have a precision shooter here. So, we're sitting and waiting for an hour. Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened with the stream in the beginning. I had the settings off. I think I'm still getting used to this software here. Let's see. Agreed. I think I really hope there isn't a common theme with this. I mean, I think, SWAT teams are obviously pretty legit at what they do. There's a pretty high standard there. But this is Texas. We aren't in some like liberal ass city where, everybody's scared and cops never deal with anything. No, like there's shootings all the time in Texas. Like people get pissed off and, somebody pulls a gun, it's time to go. Did you ever hear about the Brookside PD in Alabama 3 to 6 months ago? No, I didn't. Hey, yeah, K9 Rescue. I got a message for you publicly. I've seen your comments about me on other people's pages talking shit about me. Get the fuck out of here. We don't need you here. Yeah, I'm on one today. This pisses me off, especially when we've got guys like Officer Tatum just hail to police. I mean, he really titled his video, "Do the Research." Okay, well, the research is that the police actually throw in. Then they ran off because they figured out there was a gunfight going on. Then they held parents back. Think they tasered a guy, had him on the ground. This whole time, this dude's getting a haircut. He shows up and makes entry with a tactical team. Well, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I'm just so pissed off at this because I've been a huge supporter of police, and I still am. Like I said, if you're law enforcement and you're watching this, if you have balls, if you do what is right, if you would have gone in and given your life to maybe save 3 kids that are now dead, good on you. But if you're one of those guys who's like Officer Tatum, who's like, man, you don't understand tactics. Well, I understand kicking down a fucking door and saying, "What's up, dude? Shoot me instead of these kids." That's what I understand. It's not about, oh, well, SWAT wasn't there and we didn't have helmets and somebody forgot the shotgun to blow the door hinges off. No, no. Kick a window in. Grow some balls. Understand that kids are just getting shot in there. Parents are losing their minds. Yeah, Officer Tatum had a dumb view on this because Officer Tatum has always been the guy who will support police no matter what. Like I said, there's got to be some hidden agenda there for him, because if you can legitimately say, yeah, the police did a great job and you don't understand tactics, it doesn't make any sense, dude. Yeah, people in the past, that's funny. People in the past have called me a bootlicker because I've made videos in support of the police. Let me be very clear right now. I support the police, but when they fuck up, I'm going to be the first one on a video or a live stream saying, what the fuck? I cannot believe they went on camera and they were like, oh, we didn't have vests and precision shooters. What? What? Look, there's a lot of details that we probably don't know. What we do know is that the shooter arrived, they went in, and they were getting shot out, so they retreated, and they waited. They didn't do anything for at least 30 minutes. That's unacceptable. That's cowardice. I'm serious. Whoever made that call, dude, you should be put in jail forever. Somebody's got to own this. Somebody has to own this. It's not going to be this thing. We're not like the other side. We're not like fucking Joe Biden, where every time he fucks up, it's, well, this happened, or Trump happened. No, we're not like that. We own our shit. So whoever made the call, please stand up and put your ass in a prison. That's it. There's no arguing about it. There's no, oh, well, I was just thinking on my feet. Well, maybe if you retreated and then we're like, fuck, we got to get back in there 2 minutes later. Okay. All right. But 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour? And then you have some dude go up there and say, well, we didn't have gear. Oh, I'm pissed. All departments issue 1 to 2 vests and at least 1 uniform and firearm. Yeah, I don't understand the point that he made. If he was being honest about that, what the hell are they doing in Uvalde? And look, guys, I see a lot of the comments here where it says screw the police and all this stuff. We got to be careful with this. It's not. We can't think in a general aspect here. This is one situation. I'm not going to generalize and say every cop is a pussy or every cop wouldn't go into the school. But these cops in Uvalde, the ones that were like, okay, well, we got to wait. It's criminal. It is criminal. If they had kids in that school, they would have been kicking the doors in. Yeah, I mean, that's the exact point. I mean, look at the parents that were outside, like begging to get in. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I would have been swinging at those officers if my kid was in there. I probably would have ran one of them over with my truck. Oh, you're going to keep me from getting my kid out of there? Good luck. Why was that even a thing? I know Officer Tatum talked about a perimeter. Well, there is no perimeter if no one is going in. Does that make sense? If no one is currently going or making entry anywhere, there doesn't need to be a perimeter. And we're talking about tactics. Oh, well, none of us understand tactics. Well, let me shoot you some stuff that's just not tactics at all. Actually, it's nothing. Standing in line outside when kids are getting shot, keeping parents just at bay. What kind of tactics is that? Who teaches that? What police department do they teach that in? Or how about tasering a parent that probably has a kid in the school? What tactic is that? UV police officers did have kids in there. They got their kids out. If that's true, oh boy, that better not be true. That's all I got to say. When would they have gotten them out if they, I guess, just ran in, heard the shooting, grabbed their kid, and then ran out? It's sad how some cops have no issue taking on an unarmed person with backup, yet when someone has a gun, they tuck tail and run. Look, there's a lot of officers who are badasses out there who aren't afraid to go up against someone with a gun. But the excuses that they made on air, we don't have good shooters. I don't know how many times I've said this in the video, but it's important. We don't have precision riflemen. Well, what do your cops do all day? They're eating tacos in Uvalde, Texas? Just hanging out? What do they do? How often do they shoot? How often do they go to the range and practice for situations like this? Are they trained on how to gain entry and to not be noticed? It's a school. It's not a shed in your backyard where there's one door, and if you make a little scratch on the door, the dude's going to hear you. It's a school. How are you not going around to the back or getting on the roof or digging a damn hole under it at this point? How are you not trying something? And I think here's the last thing I'll say about Officer Tatum on this one. He was saying, oh, well, you don't know because you're not a cop. He was saying this during his live stream or whatever video. You never had a uniform on. You never had. You don't understand any of this. People will move mountains for their blood. If my mom is in a school, I don't have kids. But if I had a kid and they were in a school and it was being shot up, I will be the juggernaut getting through there. Because my life is not more important than my kids. So this whole thing about, oh, well, you don't understand. Well, did they try anything? No. Shrunken sacks cost lives. Who knows? At the end of the day, here's the thing. We don't have all of the information. We don't know who gave the order not to go into the school as far as the Uvalde Police Department goes. We don't know. But if my commanding officer said, you know what, we're retreating, fuck you, dude. I'm getting in there. There are kids being shot. You can reprimand me later for disobeying your order. Yeah, it's funny how this all works. They want to push gun control right now. But police officers who had guns did nothing with them. I just don't buy that. I just don't buy it. This dude shot off something like 144 rounds. If you're outside the school, if you're close, you're going to hear it. That gun was probably echoing all throughout the school. Even if he's barricaded, and you know he was shooting people before, it's not really a time to just sit there and lollygag and be like, all right, well, we're just going to kick it and wait. Those parents weren't freaking out because there was someone barricaded. They probably heard something. Yeah, like I said, there's two ways to look at this. Is your life more important than a child's? And the other way is, well, we didn't have enough gear, or we weren't taught tactics. I'm not joking on this one. Whoever gave the order to stand down, dude, your ass is grass. You better be put under the jail. I don't care what you were thinking. I don't care if you think he barricaded himself. I don't care if you think he was Thor, the god of thunder, and if you even made one step, he was just going to throw a lightning bolt down on you. You did nothing for 30 minutes to an hour. And people died. Kids, innocent kids. Who knows how many of those lives could have been saved if y'all didn't retreat when you were being shot at the first, I don't know, I think it was in the first 4 minutes. Who knows? Sure, maybe one or two of you would have been shot, but you know what? I would have been good with that because it probably would have saved some innocent kid's life. And guess what? They didn't take an oath. They didn't take an oath to protect and serve. You did. And if it's too tough, or any law enforcement watching this, if it was too tough or this looks scary or any of that, just turn in your badge. Turn it in. This will never happen again. We need to be not like the other side and hold ourselves accountable. We're not blaming it on this stupid shit that they did on the news. Oh, man. Y'all wanted to see me fired up. Here you go. Lockdowns aren't a defensive tactic. Hiding in a corner is leaving our children defenseless. My daughter are taught to stay moving, and our educators need to be taught close quarter defensive measures, not to hide. Yeah. I completely agree, man. I think this is a true learning lesson in general, not to be a victim. In America, if you're not carrying a gun, if you don't have a gun in your person, you can be a victim. Someone pulls up at a grocery store or school or whatever it is, you are a victim, because guess what? Nothing goes up against a gun like a gun. You got a knife? Sick. You got to be arm's length away to do anything to them. By that time, doesn't matter your size, doesn't matter how good you are with your hands, you're done. Yeah. It's just pretty odd to me. I don't understand the rhyme or reason. And if it's their goal to get on there, or maybe they had a meeting before and said, how do we make this not look as bad? And they wanted to blame it on that. Anyone who knows very little, actually, no, still, if you didn't run in there and try to do something, just get out of here. Yeah. We stop it by not relying on anybody but ourselves. You are in charge of your own protection. If there's a school shooter, police aren't going to just magically appear. A SWAT team's not going to magically appear. It takes time. And then you have to, in a situation like Uvalde, if they made a call or were just too scared to go in there, then you're really on your own. I mean, can you imagine how scared people were sitting in there for an hour? All these kids. Oh boy, some of these comments. Backing up Officer Tatum. That's fine. Hey, we can agree to disagree. That's totally fine. I think it's like a few people in here. But look, I don't dislike the guy. But I think he is terribly wrong on this. Terribly wrong. And just there's no sense to what he's saying. It's a good point. It's a really good point. I mean, if you're in a fire department and there's a 3-story building and there's a baby at the top and this building is just engulfed in flames, are you waiting 45 minutes for your truck to show up? Maybe you're an off-duty fireman. You have your gear in your garage. Are you waiting? Guys, let's just get a perimeter here. I know it's a fire, but just if we could stop. Oh, you want to run in there? No, I don't think so. Oh, you're going to try to get through me? Okay, I'll taser you. Like, unreal. Yeah, it's sad. I mean, I'm sorry to hear that, man. You know, if you've watched me for a while, there's nothing more that gets me fired up than when innocent children are killed. A big one was Cannon Hinnant, the kid who was riding his skateboard, and this dude just walked up behind him and popped him in the back of the head. Little kid. This is probably like a year and a half ago. You want me to take the oath? Why would I want to be a police officer? I can protect myself. I can protect the people around me. If I go into a grocery store and there's someone that's coming in trying to hurt people, I'll be a police officer. I don't need to take an oath for that. That's in here. It's in your heart. All right, y'all. I'm going to call it in a few seconds here. Sorry about Sarge during this. I think he had to take a shit or something. You all right, buddy? Yeah. Just to end this, I think, you know, if you do watch Officer Tatum's videos, take it all with a grain of salt because I don't know what he is thinking. I don't know if he's just under contract to always back every single action the police makes. It's just not me. It's just not me. If my brother makes a mistake, I will straight up do something like this to him. I will get in his face about something if it's a terrible thing. So, anyways, really appreciate you guys. It's been an interesting one, but come on, if you're a police officer, you gotta run in there and save kids. And if you're not going to, let the parents try to save their own kids. That's the future of this nation. All right, y'all. Stay safe out there.